Hi, it's Phyllis with SoundAdvice. Thanks for joining me today. This is like take 10. We're going to be talking about how to create a content calendar in a super simple way. You're going to be able to do your own right after you finish watching this video. And stay till the end because I'm going to be sharing with you a really cool tool I just learned to help with the RAP syndrome. Resistance, avoidance, and procrastination. You don't want to miss that. So let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about developing a content calendar, and this is going to be really simple, but it is worth doing. A little bit of planning on the front end is going to make a really consistent flow of content so much easier. You'll be surprised at how much time it actually ends up saving you when you do a little bit of planning on the front. So the only thing you're going to need to do is to grab a piece of paper, and at the top I want you to write what's your main thing? What are you known for? That's what all of your content and information is going to be geared to. Then you're going to draw two vertical lines, basically breaking the paper into 3 equal parts. Okay, on the far left-hand side of your paper, I want you to write in the next 4 dates that you want content to go live, whether that's a blog post or a video or a podcast or some other type of content, whatever that's going to be. I want you to write the 4 dates that you want those to be. Now, people ask me all the time, how often should I be creating and putting content out into the world? And the more you can do, the better. However, you really don't want to sacrifice quality for quantity. So if getting something really good and juicy that's going to really interest your audience, if you can only do that once a month, then start there. If you can do it twice a month, then start there. If whatever is right for you. But I would just, as long as you can keep the quality high, then you'll know what the answer is. If doing a quality piece every single week is not going to work for you, then don't go there. Start with every other week. So put those next 4 dates down, whatever they're going to be, and then in the middle column, I want you to write what your 4 topics are going to be. These are going to be your working titles, so give some thought to that. If you did the brainstorming exercise that we talked about in another video, this is where you're going to take your best brainstorm ideas. You're going to plug those 4 things in. If you haven't done that yet, you may need to pause and then do that part, but that's where you're going to put your next 4 pieces in. Then on the right-hand side, you're going to place down who's basically going to be responsible for creating this content. If there's more than one person, you're going to go ahead and jot multiple people's names down. If there are going to be a team of people involved, you can go and put that down. You're also going to want to put down a deadline date. So if you want a piece of content to go live on May the 10th, you might have to have it completed by May the 7th so that there's time for graphics people or your web person to get it uploaded to the website, or somebody to get video rendered and onto YouTube, whatever. There's obviously usually some what I'll call post-production pieces that you need to be aware of, and so work backwards. If your date's the 10th, then how many days ahead of time do you need to do that? That in essence is your working calendar. Now, if you're doing this all on your own, or even if you're doing this with a team, you've got some people helping you, or you've got somebody that helps you with writing and so forth, the best thing that you can do is what I would call batch process if you can. So mark out some time on your calendar. For example, let's say you're going to do 4 podcasts. That's what you've got on your list. You're going to do 4 podcasts. Look at your calendar coming up. Put down a date, maybe a Monday afternoon from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. You're going to sit down and record all 4 podcasts. I know that sounds like a lot, but believe me, being able to do that all at one time, what we call batch processing, is going to be so much easier. First of all, because it's actually going to get done. You're going to be able to set aside time to do it. If you're doing things like podcasts or video or those sorts of things, there's usually some setup involved with getting, microphones. You need to be in a space where there's not going to be a lot of ambient noise. You want to have, video, obviously. You've got even more, attributes and more things that you've got to be aware of. So doing it in a batch situation is really going to end up saving you time. You're more likely to be able to record 4 podcasts in one afternoon once a month. You're going to be able to do that much more easily than you're going to be able to create an hour, hour and a half every single week to be able to get those done. So if it's at all possible, I would recommend batching it. Even if you're writing something and it's going to be a written podcast, then sit down and devote some time to writing at a certain time. And if you can get 2 done, or you can get 3 done, whatever you can get done, they can still be edited and you can certainly tweak them as you go, but you'll be so much more ahead of the game if you can do a batch process like that. The last thing I want to just mention, because I think it's worth mentioning, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I can't possibly tell you what I want to talk about, the end of May. Like, I want to wait for this moment of inspiration to hit me, or I don't know exactly what I want to be able to talk about. I want to be sort of free and loose with it. And I totally hear that. I totally get it, and I get you. I get it. So, but here's the thing, right? If we're waiting for this, lightning strike of inspiration to hit us before we share some really good content with our audience, sometimes we can go a really long time in between, right? And sometimes that's an excuse for not just sitting down and planning it out and doing the work that needs done. Believe me, if you've got some podcasts ready to go, or you've got 4 blog posts lined up ready to go, and you get just the most brilliant idea, and you decide you're going to bump one of your posts and you're going to plug in this brilliant idea, you can certainly do that. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. But ensuring that you have podcasts lined up and ready to go, or have blog posts ready to roll, or whatever, actually means it's going to get done on a regular basis. And that's what good content marketing is about. Consistency is one of the most important factors. Probably second only to quality content. Okay, so I think that's enough with that. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments section, and I will be happy to get back to you with questions. Thanks for hanging with me to the end of the video. I want to share with you the tip I promised you. I learned this watching a podcast recently that Lewis did with Mel Robbins. Now, I didn't know Mel at all. I've known Lewis forever. But it was so fascinating to me, and it was so interesting. So I wanted to share it with you, because procrastination and resistance, I think, is one of the reasons why we don't get better content out there a lot. It's one of the reasons why we stop ourselves. So Mel has this tip that she's using, and please check out her information. I'm going to put some links in the comments, because she explains the science behind all of this, and she has some really great information to support what I'm going to share. But if you just hear this part, I promise you this will work. The next time that you find that you're getting ready to resist, and we all have those moments, sometimes we have them even before we get out of bed, right? The alarm goes off and you're laying there for half a second going, am I going to get up, or am I going to hit the snooze button, or am I going to hit send on this email to a potential client? Am I going to post my podcast? Am I going to participate in an interview, be part of a forum? Like, right, we have all of these things, and sometimes they're minor and little, but we still pause and we still hesitate. Anytime you have a hesitation moment like that, no matter what it's about, Mel suggests that you do a countdown. Simply 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then move forward. Hit send, post the podcast, get out of bed, whatever it is that you were hesitating for. She explains a lot, again, like why mentally that works, and I don't really even care why, I just know that it does. So I hope you find that helpful. Thanks for being here. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Next week, our video is going to be all about voice and tone and vocabulary. People ask me all the time, how do I know what kind of writing I should do, or how do I know what types of content to put out to my audience? And we're going to cover that in detail next time. So thanks a lot, and have a great day. And I'll look forward to connecting with you soon. Bye. Lewis Nichols with SoundAdvice. Thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to be talking about content. That's my cat's tail, sorry. Hi. I'm going to start over. Hi, it's Phyllis. Thanks for joining me today. Hi. Hi, this is Phyllis. Thanks for joining me. Okay, start over. Hi, this is Phyllis Nichols with SoundAdvice. Thanks for coming. Hi, this is Phyllis with SoundAdvice. I'm really stumped now. I don't know what to say. procrastination. Okay, let's try that again. Procrastination apparently is, I can't say that. You can't put that in there.